So beginning with chapter 7 now, I will be talking about multiple regression model. So in multiple regression model, see y would not be only affected by one variable, but y would actually be affected by more than one variable. So for example, I can say that child mortality would not only depend on the GDP of the country, but also will depend on mother's health. So basically one factor being affected by a lot of other factors, I talk about multiple regression model. So if I have to see its counterpart, I know that this part is, if I have to write it in the sample form, so I know that this is nothing but e of y given xi through my two variable case, and I know that this is the error term and its counter variable would be yi hat in the sample. So this I know, but now just remember, given instead of 1 xi you would be given 2 xi's, x2i and x3i. So the assumption of, I know that the one of the most important assumption of the classical linear regression model was that there is no multicollinearity. So supposedly that multicollinearity actually exists, or I can say that x3i is actually twice of x2i. So suppose there is this multi-correlation that x3i is twice of x2i, then what do I do? So instead of x3i, I would write 2 times x2i. So I have this, instead of x3i, I would write twice of x2i, and I keep on solving this and I get this. So if you notice now, I just have yi as a factor of x2i and x3i is gone. So then from multiple linear regression model, it actually turns out to be a 2 variable regression model. It's no more multilinear. So therefore I can say that if this multicollinearity actually exists, I am in a trouble. So this assumption of no multicollinearity is very important. Coming down to the interpretation of partial regression coefficients, so when I would say that, okay, when I used to say that y is equal to beta 1 plus beta 2x, all that I said was that if x changes by 1 unit, then y changes by beta 2 units. This is what the slope states. And if x is 0, then y is beta 1. This is what the intercept states. Now I am telling you that, look, if I have a multiple linear regression model and I have to interpret what beta 2 is, then I have to hold this constant. And if I have to interpret what beta 3 is, then I have to keep this constant. So then beta 2 basically is holding the effect of x3 constant. If I increase x2 by 1 unit, then y would increase by beta 2 units. Similarly, holding x2 constant, if I increase x3 by 1 unit, then y would increase by beta 3 units. So OLS estimator, I have yi as this. So I know that under my OLS estimator, all that we had to do is to minimize the sum of the error terms. So I find out ui, which is nothing but this, and I have to minimize this. So I differentiate with respect to beta 1, beta 2, beta 3 equated to 0 and find the values of beta 1, beta 2, beta 3. If you do so, you would get beta 2 as this. Now notice all this is in deviation form. So now once you know the value of beta 2 hat, all that you have to do to find beta 3 is to exchange the positions of x2i and x3i. So once you do that, replace x2i for x3i and x3i for x2i, you would actually get beta 3 hat. So again, if you have to find out the variance, it's summation ui square, ui hat square upon n minus k, where k is the number of parameters. In this case it's 3, which is beta 1, beta 2 and beta 3, right? So now just like we studied r square, we can find r square in this case also, but here I would have something which is known as r23. So earlier r square was telling me that, okay, what is the amount of variation in y that is due to the variation in x. Now r23 would tell me what is the amount of variation in x2, what is the amount of variation in x2